Rina Shah is a political strategist and geopolitical analyst. Joins us now from Washington, D.C. Good to have you with us. So I think as you heard there, shouting, some tense tones, sharp remarks. What did you make of that hearing?
Well, it wasn't a surprise to me because this hearing is exploding over the Department of Justice's release of over 3 million Epstein documents under a transparency law. It's not like they did this just because they were excited to do so. And also, this is the biggest problem here. The redactions in their release failed big time. They exposed survivors' private information, things like therapy notes and identifications. So Pam Bondi owns it as a quote-unquote massive failure, but she's blaming tech glitches and prior administrations, I'm talking Biden and Obama, for not prosecuting harder back in the day. So I think it's classic DC blame game, and it's highlighting how Jeffrey Epstein's web still haunts politics and is turning a victim-focused law into a weapon against Trump's team.
Okay, but how much damage is it doing to the current administration's popularity?
Well, I think right now, this is a situation in which we're watching Bondi go toe-to-toe with Democrats, refusing to apologize directly to Epstein survivors in the room. When Democrat Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal pushed her to do so, she said she won't get in the gutter. I think that is a phrase that's going to come back and haunt this administration because they've been in the gutter many times, according to many Republicans as well. But look, she also called top Democrat Jamie Raskin a washed-up loser lawyer. These kinds of phrases amid shouting matches, that's no good. And then she also tried countering by flashing documents on lawmakers' own Epstein file requests. She tried to flip the script. So what I saw is not just policy talk. It was not that. It was raw theater that showed just how polarized Washington is right now. Her aggressive style, Pam Bondi's aggressive style, might rally Trump's base, but what it does is risks alienating moderates and independents who see it as dodging accountability.
Where does this case go next? Are we going to see further investigations launched, legal action? You know, there's a whole bunch of accusations and discussion about powerful people being connected, being redacted. We've seen files also released connecting Epstein with figures who have some background in Israeli intelligence, like Yoni Koren, Ehud Barak. You know, will we see investigations focus on angles like that?
Well, look, I think there is bipartisan heat here. It's not all been one-sided. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey called Pam Bondi out and said she was caught red-handed on these redaction errors, and things that were simple, by the way, like shielding a co-conspirator's name while doxing victims. She tried to pivot to tout wins like cartel drone takedowns and a weaponization working group to protect conservative protesters. But look, anything she tried to pivot to doesn't matter, because I think what we're seeing right now, today, on display, it signals that Trump's DOJ is shifting gears. It's prioritizing America first enforcement, but what it's doing is also stirring ethics debates on politicization, which could really fuel global chats on how the U.S. does independent justice. And so I think that's the key here, is looking at what justice is in this moment. There are, of course, going to be public and political ripple effects that continue on. Survivors have been very vocal. Some raised hands in the rooms to show that the Department of Justice ghosted them, calling the release an intimidation attempt. And on X, the former Twitter, you saw reactions range from conspiracy theories, like Bondi glitching robot style, to cheers for her cartel tough talk. But I think we all should take a broader view here. 1 year into Pam Bondi's tenure at the Department of Justice, what we're seeing is the Trump administration's vulnerabilities fully exposed. I mean, Democrats are using Epstein to tie Trump closer, but Bondi's deflections really highlight how past scandals boomerang. And I think for our international audience watching, it's a window into America's endless culture wars, where justice feels like a partisan tool rather than blind.
Rena Shah, political strategist, good to get your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.